Julius Leon Shartsis. Our dad was born 1932 in St. Louis, Missouri. A loving and devoted son to Tilly Rose and Moses. A loving and fun brother to Moritz, Molly, Jacob, Henry, and Hannah. A hardworking and devoted husband to his wife Barbara. Father to Dale, Linda, and Gary. Building our bikes almost from scratch, camping and fishing were a constant in our early years. Dad has 2 wonderful grandchildren, Bryce. Dad was a loving uncle to Chantel, Lisa, Mike, Michelle, Sandra, Jacqueline, Alphonse, Rick, Maria, Carmen, Annalisa, Jay, Tweety, Mackie, and Marty, and a wonderful father-in-law to both Paul and my wife Cheryl. In the last years of his life, he was introduced to a long-lost niece, Teresa, and 3 weeks ago, I reminded him our cousin Greg was still alive. Long thought to be lost 4 decades ago. There are many, many more not listed, but not to be forgotten. Our family name, Shartsis, is very rare. Dad's brother Henry shortened it in his grammar to Shartsis, as he did not have to try and explain that it ends with SIS hundreds of times.
I'm through with love, I'll never fall again. Said adieu to love, don't ever call again. For I must have you, I'm no one. And so I'm through with love. I've locked my heart, I'll keep my feelings there. I have stocked my heart with icy frigid air.
When your day is long and the night is yours alone. When you're sure you've had enough of this life, hang on. Don't let yourself go. Everybody cries, and everybody hurts sometimes. Sometimes everything is wrong. Now it's time to sing along.
Jack served in the Navy, and Henry was awarded the Silver Star in the Korean War. Dad served in the National Guard. Our family name is unique indeed. Our dad has a huge and proud family. We are in exotic places like St. Louis, Missouri, Joplin, Tucson, Arizona, State Line, Nevada, Long Beach, California, Fresno, Tujunga, California, Sammamish, Washington, and West Palm Beach, Florida. Almost all are loving, proud, industrious, and hardworking. You know who you are. Ironically, if you meet another Shartsis, you are meeting one of our direct relatives. For a man who lived, talked, and acted as a loner, Dad was actually part of a great family and loved by many of us dearly. He really chose to be alone in his golden years. This must be shocking to those who only met Dad in the last half of his life. As Jules spoke of being alone and lack of family, you all must have thought this family abandoned him. Nothing could be further from the truth. Dad always had a place at our tables. We remembered his every birthday with a card or gift, sent cards for every Hanukkah. He was always loved and cared for. He was in daily contact with my sister and I with emails of jokes that spanned the spectrum from conservative politics to fart jokes. He was the funny guy who always had trouble telling a joke before he cracked himself up. I caught that from him. Dad's childhood was difficult, to say the least. Imagine his dad, our grandfather Moses, was born 10 years after the Civil War. Dad lost both his parents in his life. Siblings were separated, and he chose to live in until he was by an instructor at a technical school. That set the course for my dad's life. Dad learned mechanics and went on to work for White. He moved west as a young bride in 1954 and called Glendale his home. He worked at Tom Ray Pontiac and later purchased the property across the street on Brand Boulevard, Hightower Toyota, the future home of Jules Auto Service and Sales. And later home of Pacific BMW, where he met his business partner David Ho. Thank you, David, for befriending my dad. Fortunately for David, you are now part of our family, and we are part of yours. Dad told me you would look out for us. He trusted you. Thank you for being a good steward for my dad, his family, and our legacy, with honesty and integrity. To his many friends at Pacific BMW, thank you for being there for Dad. Thanks for your patience and understanding. Dad was a simple guy, yet complicated character. He loved his car, and as you all know well, it had to be as unique as he was. He must have told you all a few things about the camera thingy, the night vision, a few dozen times. Unfortunately for David, mostly while on the clock. My dad was a master mechanic, builder, toastmaster, gardener, friend, an expert on sign laws, and almost every other subject under the sun. If Dad didn't know how something worked, he looked it up. He also was the nice old guy on Hollyville Avenue in Victorville, who loved his lawn, shrubs, trees, and roses more than most could understand. He fought City Hall many times and won. He could rebuild a car with simple tools in his bare hands. Trim trees, lay foundations, finish concrete. My dad could do almost anything and did. Most of all, he was a great guy. I know that God needed his skills and called him home. He is in a better place without pain, without hurt, where love and understanding abounds. We will miss him dearly, and I know he will live on in your hearts too. I pray you got to see him as we do. He was loved by many and understood by few. A simple man, honest, loving, and hardworking, with a devoted, caring family. He never was alone. Who would have thought? My dad, Jules.